There are a lot of obstacles and challenges when it comes to being a remote manager, especially if it's your first time being a manager or just your first time working remote. Building rapport is hard without that face-to-face conversation, but knowing what you need to be focused on, knowing what you're responsible for, and knowing that you're doing the right things can all lead to anxiety around one-on-ones. Going at it alone can be scary, especially if you don't have a ton of guidance. But we're here to eliminate that anxiety and show you how to turn one of the most reviled meetings into something that both you and your direct reports look forward to. Here at Hugo, we often say that crappy culture and crappy meetings go hand in hand. And it's true. But fixing your one-on-ones is one of the best places to start to change that and really strive for a better meeting culture and company culture. In order to do this, one-on-ones first should be recurring and consistent. It should be a protected time to create the space to talk about anything and set the stage for consistency. After all, it is the most important meeting to make your direct reports successful. It should also be immovable. We all have a million things to do every day, and it's easy to fall into the habit of seeing one-on-ones as an obstacle that you need to get through, like your Slack messages or your inbox. However, set the stage that this meeting is immovable. This doesn't mean you can't change it. It just means you always need to have it. It can be rescheduled, but not canceled. When you're planning your process, strategy, and outlook on one-on-ones, a really good place to start is with an agenda. Always, always, always have an agenda. The worst thing you can do is show up unprepared with nothing to discuss and no direction. This is where your agenda comes in. Preparation is key, not only for your own organization, but writing things down first with both you and your direct reports makes things a lot less nerve-wracking to talk about. It makes it a lot easier to plan out what you want to discuss and confront issues and challenges more comfortably. How to make that perfect one-on-one agenda. Number 1, have a purpose. Make sure you clearly convey what your one-on-one meeting aims to achieve. Now, this shouldn't just be a meeting about updates and progress, rather a space to connect about concerns and needs. Number 2, updates. Updates are important in one-on-ones. This is the perfect place in your agenda to add in what your direct report got done in the previous week. They need to add what they plan to do but weren't able to, and any other updates on progress and workflow and projects. Number 3, issues. Have a section for issues in your agenda. If there's any issues for either you or your direct report to discuss, put them here. Any roadblocks, resourcing needs, is there anything concerning them? Overcome these issues and roadblocks with this step. Number 4, discussion questions. Discussion questions will help with relationship building, career guidance, and goal setting. Get creative with these discussion questions. A great one that we like to use here at Hugo is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how fulfilled are you at your work? Now, this is a lot better question than just asking, how are you feeling in your role? Because it really sets a standard of being able to talk through why they came up with that number. A good follow-up question to this is, let's say they say I'm 7 out of 10 fulfilled. You can ask why, how could we get you to a 10? And talk through some of those steps. This leads to a much more interesting conversation, and both parties can help find a solution together, help identify a better path forward together. Now that you're familiar with some best practices around one-on-ones, let's talk through some common mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1, just chatting. If you show up to your one-on-one with no agenda, no structure, it's hard to create an impactful conversation, and that can signal that you don't really value your team's time. Using a shared note-taking doc is a great fix for this. With Hugo, you can collaborate on a repeatable, shareable agenda that sets the stage for consistency. Mistake number 2, even if you have a killer agenda, if nobody is taking notes, it makes it really hard to go back and measure progress. It makes it hard to consolidate information in one place and establish next steps. With one document and one note-taking system, there's one source of truth that you can always refer back to. It makes the organization of note-taking so much more easy and consistent. So make sure you have a note taker. The next mistake is actions. When item actions are getting tracked, the next steps are abundantly clear for both parties. But if you don't necessarily know what the next steps are, or you're both writing them down on your own, it can be pretty hard to know what your next steps are and what your priorities are. With Hugo, assigning tasks, next steps, and due dates is simple. Once you've established a consistent meeting schedule, process, and agenda, it's time to put it all in one place. Hugo allows for template creation, agenda collaboration, tasks, and more that all fit perfectly into your one-on-one strategy. If you need a place to start, our one-on-one templates can help. Sign up for Hugo for free. You don't have to go at it alone. We're here to help you succeed by saving time and making the most of your meetings.